What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Johnny. Back in here, one more reaction video, ladies and gentlemen. Today we got another track from the homie Ren, subscriber request. Shout out to the gang. I love you all. This track is titled Eden. Looking forward to hearing this banger. And if this is your first time to the channel, get on in here and park that whip, baby. As I love to say, we are simply spirits encased in human flesh. That's all I promise. Trying to figure out this thing called life, not nearly as divided or as demonic as the mainstream media tries to make it seem every single day. And I think we can all agree that everybody and their mama enjoy some good music. So if you dig what you hear from Ren and myself, do me a favor and share this thing far and wide. My daughter is that, so I hope she don't make too much noise. We're going to see how it go.
Let me tell you a story as old as time, the story of Adam and Eve. It starts with a God who wanted more. God had just created the heavens and the earth. He had the angels by his side, but they had no will of their own, and so the autonomy to love or reject him was never theirs. All but for one, the once called bringer of light, Lucifer, morning star. Lucifer was the fairest and most intelligent of all the angels. He was the closest thing to God's image, and in his likeliness, Lucifer felt restless. He began to question and doubt God. He doubted the hierarchy opposed upon him. He felt God was arrogant. In his frustration, Lucifer built a throne that stood even above God's and declared mutiny. A war ensued. God, being all-powerful, came out the victor and banished Lucifer from the heavens and exiled him to earth. Once again, God was alone with his power. Perhaps from loneliness, perhaps from curiosity, perhaps from a desire to share love, God began to work on his greatest project yet, a being that would mirror himself, the human, two humans specifically, Adam and Eve. They were placed inside a paradise built for them on earth, the Garden of Eden. In the garden, God placed a tree that bared fruit that would grant anyone who ate it powers bestowed only to a God, to tell good from evil, left from right, to live righteously or to sin. He named this the tree of knowledge. God told Adam and Eve they could eat whatever they wanted in the garden, but never the fruit from the tree of knowledge. And if they disobeyed him, it would be punishable by death. The basic way the story of Eden is told is that Eve was tempted by Lucifer in the form of a serpent to eat a fruit from the tree of knowledge. Convinced, she bit the fruit, she passed it to Adam, and he did the same. Suddenly, ultimate knowledge filled their minds, and they realized they were naked and felt shame. God discovered this betrayal and felt angered. He exiled Adam and Eve and cursed them with the life of a mortal. They would work, they would bear children, and they would die. The fate of a human. Now look deeper.
In the story, the serpent tempted me by telling me I would gain ultimate knowledge and that God would spare me.
Both were true.
This wasn't some great deception, meaning that Satan, in the likeliness of God, perhaps understood his intentions. In fact,
The only lie uttered in the
Garden of Eden was
by God, who did not end up
condemning
Adam and Eve to death.
death.
This could be seen as an act of
Mercy, but the sheer fact that the tree existed and that humans
were initially cut off from this knowledge.
may imply some part of God was afraid that if humans were granted the gift of perception, they, like Lucifer, would have the power to reject him too. The fact that there stood a beautiful tree that could
grant this knowledge in the first place
implies that a small part of
God, supposedly all-knowing,
perhaps wanted and intended
the humans to bite too.
In the Bible, Satan was an exiled angel of free will. Humans are exiled
descendants of Adam and Eve.
also with free will. Not only have we shared a similar fate to the devil, we were also both constructed in
We
the
were
image of
also
our
both
Creator,
constructed in the image of our Creator.
meaning our behaviors, in some shape or form, imperfectly echo his.
We could assume that this
Yo, this is crazy on so many levels. If you've ever read the book Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill, it states that you can go to God for the power, you can go to the devil for the power, or you can tap into the power of your subconscious mind and that you have free will to use it yourself. So this is a super unique story that, man, I keep saying Ren is his imagination is out of this world. And the dopest part about the art that he shares is that every single one of us has a gift to give this world, man. And this is right here showing you how he can keep taking it up a level. You can as well. Whatever you love to do, whatever is important to you, Give your art to the world. We need it now more than ever.
The serpent tempted me by telling me I would gain ultimate knowledge and that God would spare me.
Both were true.
This wasn't some great deception, meaning that Satan, in the likeliness of God, perhaps understood his intentions. In fact,
The only lie uttered in the
Garden of Eden was
by God, who did not end up
condemning
Adam and Eve to
death.
This could be seen as an act of
Mercy, but the sheer fact that the tree existed and that humans
were initially cut off from this knowledge.
may imply some part of God was afraid that if humans were granted the gift of perception, they, like Lucifer, would have the power to reject him too. The fact that there stood a beautiful tree that could
Grant this knowledge in the first place.
implies that a small part of
God, supposedly all-knowing,
perhaps wanted and intended
The humans to bite too.
In the Bible, Satan was an exiled angel of free will. Humans are exiled
descendants of Adam and Eve.
also with free will. Not only have we shared a similar fate to the devil, we were also both constructed
We
in the
were
image of
also
our
both
Creator,
constructed in the image of our Creator.
meaning our behaviors, in some shape or form, imperfectly echo His.
We could assume that this kind of
God has his doubts,
But-
but as the most
powerful being,
being in the universe,
he has no one above him
to turn to with questions, and no one to
Doubt but himself, an incredibly lonely and isolating existence.
We must only assume that the common thread between God, Lucifer, and us is the desire for more, an eternal curiosity, a desire perhaps birthed from a seed of loneliness. If not, why would we exist in the first place? The constantly looping, bittersweet irony is whether gifted by some omnipotent God or simply a byproduct of billions of years of evolution, here we stand, in 2023, as creatures with free will. The only creatures that understand and define good from bad. Creatures with the potential of a God. And what do we do with that free will, my friends? We willingly walk to the edge of a cliff.
Man.
In the name of progress, we jump off the precipice. The empires we build ravage the earth. The natural order of things are necessary to survive. Any systems which do not honor homeostasis eventually perish. Our free will overrides our own biological instinct. We can take more than we eat. We can kill more than we need. We can willingly create weapons with the potential to burn everything we've built to the ground. We willingly decide.
Yo, like to quote Albert Einstein, I'm not sure what World War III will be fought with, but World War IV will for sure be fought with sticks and stones. And in a world where we can connect all everywhere at the same time, all we do is destroy each other and criticize each other and talk down to each other. We can share knowledge now more than ever. And we choose to be mean and nasty and evil. But through meeting Ren and the renegades and all this, man, there are a lot of highly intelligent people in this world that want to have real conversations. They want to talk about religion and metaphysics, and we not as angry as negative, and we can have a conversation and have opposing opinions and not hate each other and want to kill each other and call each other names, man. So shout out to everyone who happens to stumble across this content and that is extremely intelligent. Okay, you can sit with me, baby. And understand that no man is your friend, no man is your enemy, but everyone can be your teacher if you allow them to be. And we all supposed to have different perspectives. I got a different perspective from my baby girl right here. And her brain doesn't know that she's half black, half white. She just know I'm her dad and she's a little human and she likes to draw and color and play video games. Ain't that right, boo?
Yeah.
Yeah.
To bow at the altar of greed, the most insidious and destructive of all sins. We put our faith in corporations who pose as rulers. We willingly allow ourselves to be led by outdated power systems ran by corrupted politicians and bloated dictators who claim domain and dominion over an open and free land. We willingly elect the corrupted when the decision was always ours to build something better. We willingly create and impose separation because of beliefs that we are force-fed through our phones and television sets. We always had the will to reject these things, but we adhere to them as though they were the laws of physics.
And the dopest part about that is the algorithm doesn't have emotions and feelings. It's just going to keep feeding you more negative junk if that's what you're clicking on. But humans, we know better. So as James Allen said, and as a man thinking, if you would guard your body, guard your mind, turn that TV off, Turn that phone off, turn them notifications off, disconnect from the negativity, and embrace the things that are positive in your life. And you have a mother, a father, a brother, a sister, auntie, uncle, best friend, a cousin, a beautiful daughter like I got here. You blessed in ways that you never imagined. And if you did not come from a strong family, do everything in your power to make sure a strong family comes from you.
War, famine, pestilence, greed, these aren't things imposed upon us by an all-powerful God or by his demonic adversary. They are here because of us, not because of free will, but because of our inability to use it. We must be motivated to be better, not out of fear of punishment of an eternal damnation, but because the choice exists, because we love ourselves, because we have the power to absolve ourselves of so much unnecessary suffering.
Man.
Take a second to be in this very moment.
Hey, if hurt people can hurt people, then heal people can heal people. I'm sending positive, loving, healing, abundant energy to everyone who happens to watch this video. Enjoy the say I love you all.
Love you.
In this moment, how much suffering is happening all over the planet right now? How many people are dying of illnesses that could have easily been cured, but aren't because of the selfishness and greediness of humanity? How many people break their backs and reject their own passions to simply afford bills and food? How many of us crave distraction from existence? How many of us numb that pain in whatever way necessary? How many children are being abused? How many people sleep cold and hungry on the streets? How many of us become cogs inside a machine that is destroying itself? How many soldiers have been forced to fight in meaningless wars? How many humans have killed for ideals they don't believe in or understand? How many people have died for the greed of another man? And how much of this was avoidable? As written in the Bible, Satan was not condemned to hell. Satan was condemned to earth. He lives there amongst other creatures with free will, who always had the choice and still chose their own undoing. Ladies and gentlemen, this is our self-made hell. The bittersweet irony is this is a creation of our own design. I'll leave you with this. Consider what you have done here today. You have worked together as individuals collaborating to form a giant neural network, a hive mind capable of achieving incredible things. We have lent on each other's strengths to solve puzzles and decipher riddles, and we've done so to win money. Imagine applying that same spirit and determination to creating the closest thing we have to paradise here on Earth. By using the power of collaboration, we can work together to even the playing field for everybody. Our dystopias can become utopias. Our Jahannams can become Jannah. Our hells can become heaven, right here on Earth. And this sentiment applies to atheists, agnostics, and believers alike.
Everybody and their mama.
Myself, I'm an agnostic who believes. I believe in us. We must do better because we can choose to. We must be better simply because the option exists.
We must do better simply because... Oh, hold on. We gonna run that back. What's up, baby girl? Daddy almost done with this, and I promise. This is a good one. This is a real good one.
Hanams can become Jannah. Our hells can become heaven, right here on Earth. And this sentiment applies to atheists, agnostics, and believers alike. Myself, I'm an agnostic who believes. I believe in us. We must do better because we can choose to. We must be better simply because the option exists. Thank you.
Oh, Ren. Hey, I keep saying that we all on this earth together. We're not getting this earth from our ancestors. We borrowing it from our descendants. What type of world do you want to leave your children, your grandchildren? One that's full of hate, full of anger, or one that's full of love, full of joy, full of collaboration? I keep saying if hurt people can hurt people, then heal people can heal people. And the whole point of this channel is to share the joy that I have inside of me. I've been through a lot of things, but I don't walk around angry because I understand it's just a part of it. Life. Everyone has been through something ugly. But if you fall down, you get back up, you dust yourself, and you try again. But for some reason, our mainstream society wants you sad, with anxiety, depression, not believing yourself, not loving yourself, obsessed with celebrities. They just actors. They playing a character. And I don't want to sit in front of this camera and play a character. We real people that go through real things. That got real bills and got children to take care of and car insurance and all that. And everyone needs to hear some words of encouragement, some motivation, some inspiration to keep going. And yes, this thing called life is hard. But if you fall down, at least fall on your backs. If you can look up, you can get up. And I didn't have nobody spreading positive information when I was a child. And you can go a lot of different places to laugh. You can go a lot of different places to be distracted from the world. But I'm just here to tell you, embrace the hardships of the world. With faith, consistency, and hard work, sky's the limit. Your current situation is not your final destination. If you have to think, you might as well think big. The world becomes a library when you figure out where you want to go and what you want to be in this thing called life, man. I didn't figure my thing out, and we in the jet cruising from, man, look here. The lights is on, it's time to shine. But I'm not no better than anyone else in this world, nor is Ren. We all are different parts of God, different parts of spirit. We all are spirits in these bodies. So the same way I have a gift to give this world, and Ren has a gift to this world, you, yes, you directly, you, my daughter got one. Everybody has a gift inside of them. And you know what you love to do. You know what's important to you. Don't die with your music still inside of you. I love you all. Have a super mega awesome day. Never be too proud to pray. Be happy, be happy, be happy, because the enemy wants you sad, but you got to understand blessings are always on the way. We outie. Peace. Say bye.